Ah, boo! Boo! Boo, I say. I was timing it. We were going to have it so that it only went the once, the intro. But then I was replying to Gib SCP, and I missed it. And it's your fault. Chat blaming. That's how things work. Look at the state of this. Oh my god. The camera is absolutely knackered. Look at the state of it. Why am I yellow? Like, why am I fully yellow? What has even happened here? It's like the white balance is totally knackered. Is that's skewing a bit more cold, but it'll have to do. It'll have to do. That's better, right? That's better. Tell me that's better. I hate everything at the moment. I don't like anything that's happening around here. If I turn the white balance down a bit more. Okay, that sort of worked, but now it's like really lifeless. Like it looks very bland for some reason. Okay. Maybe I need to change the colour correct filter. Oh my god. Is this what you tuned? This is what you were after? Is this what you wanted, gang? When you tuned in? Is this what you wanted? Should we up the saturation a little bit? Okay, let's up the saturation just a little bit. The gamma, no, the gamma's fine. We'll leave that. Contrast can go a little. Yeah, that's a bit better for contrast. That'll do. That's fine. That's fine. There's no help available here, Matt. There's no help available here. Oh, now would be a good time to insert ads. I'm going to hold you hostage. If Doreen speaks, I won't run. I won't run ads less than 10 minutes after going live. Someone makes Doreen talk. That's the way to avoid it. As long as Doreen talks. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you're a member of the channel, if you support the channel via memberships, you don't get ads. I looked it up. I think that's true. Still. It's pretty funny, to be honest, the way that you go live and YouTube immediately goes, run an ad. It's like, calm down. Chill out. An unskippable ad. 5 minutes in. Having a laugh. Anyway, let's say hello to you beautiful lot. So, hello, plebiscite, Gib. It was your fault we overran. Synergy. Hello, Prince of Beltown. How you doing, dude? Hello, Rickard. Canoness Eleanor. Matt. David. Jumpy Lemming. Excellent name. Solid Sentinel. How are we doing? Are we all good? Oh, go for it painting. Hello. Yeah, we're doing a nice Wednesday evening stream. It was going to be work in progress Wednesday. I was going to do some painting, but I'm not doing that now because I'm reasonably sure that I've not got the focus for that today. So, as previously stated, I've lost it. Where's the thing? I had a thing that I was going to wave in front of the camera. I've got a problem. I've lost something important. Oh, there it is. Scoot away. Oh, there we go. Oh. There we go. Oh, there we go. Look, we got to give people time to get in, Synergy. We got to give people time to get in. We can't just go straight in. Can't just go in raw. So, if we hit the member goal, if we hit 10 members tonight, then you can have a Ghost Dragon, or you can have a Centurion Marshal, which is this dude. That guy. Solid model. This is also a solid model. It's also pretty damn big as well. If you want to know how big this particular dragon is, I can get him. You go down there. You come here. That's the size of him. That's the size of that dragon. He's quite a sizable lad. I can do a Primaris Marine for scale. So, that's Primaris Marine. That's the size of the Ghost Dragon. So if you want a cool Ghost Dragon, if we hit 10 members, then I'll give him away to someone. I will post this lad to you. Or you can take the Centurion Marshal. Either's fine. But that's the thing. As always, Doreen is on hand to read out your super chats, provided it's over $2. Oh, I've been fighting tech issues all day, gang. All day. And, oh my god, it's been a nightmare. It is a pretty big dragon. It's awesome. Archon Studio Dragons, I love them. I'm only missing one now. I'm missing one of them. And then I will have completed my collection. I think there might be another one up there somewhere. I might have another one to give away at some point too. Yeah, there is one up there. Excellent. Excellent. We're just swimming in dragons around here. I don't have any spare Necromunda Ogrins, sorry. I used them all for parts. It's what they would have wanted. To be fair, it's what they would have wanted. They definitely would have wanted that. That might not be true. I don't know. Necromunda-wise, I've got quite a lot of open boxes, but nothing intact, sadly. The giant rat that makes all the rules is an excellent name. Fantastic. Oh, we're going to get there, Barakai. I've been doing a lot of 3D printing as well, gang. A lot of 3D printing. I've been printing a ship. An airship. It's pretty size. It's going to be pretty big. So that's the back third of it. That's the back third. It's like significant enough that I don't know how the hell I'm gonna ever get around to painting it fully. This is just one deck as well, so it's like it's that, but yeah. I'm still missing the rest of the top deck, but there's also other parts. There's also other parts to go on it. Ridiculous. Oh, thank you very much, Jumpy Lemming. Welcome to the gang. You want an STL link for the giant ship? I will show you right now. Welcome in, Jumpy Lemming. Thank you very much for the membership. We're 1 towards the 10, gang. Someone could be going home with a dragon. Let's face it, everyone on some level wants to go home with a dragon. Okay, let me find it. It's sizable. It's sizable. It's taking some printing, I can tell you that much. Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. There we go. I cannot 3D print you some friends. I'm afraid there are limitations to the technology synergy. I would if I could. Hell, I'd 3D print me some friends if that was an option. So this is it. It's the Zephyr class frigate. I will put a link in the chat for you. So if you want to print this giganto ship, then you can. I mean, you can kind of see like from that render, right? That there, that's the very front of the ship. That bit that I'm holding is the very front. So if I put this guy in here, you can just see him over the top. This is literally this bit right here, and only to about there. So that gives you a bit of an idea as to how big this ship is. It's going to be absolutely colossal. It's taken a while to print, not going to lie. Someone has printed it and painted it and put the pictures on. I mean, look at the size of it. Oh. D&D, Matt. It's for D&D. It's going to start out as a sea ship. So I'm going to print the... Like, I pretty much finished printing the top deck. Then I'm going to print the deck below that. And then at some point, I'm going to print the bottom deck and the big crystal. And it'll be a sea... A kind of futuristic sea vessel that then gets turned into a skyship. But yeah, it is a chunky boy. It's a chunky boy. It was between this, right? It was between this one and I think that's what it was. That was it. It was between that ship and this ship, which I might still end up buying at some point because I love this. This is from Dragon Trapper's Lodge, and this thing is 4 feet long. This model is 4 feet long, so at some point I'm probably going to end up with it. But I'm going to print the other one first, obviously. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that's what I'm currently printing. There's loads of amazing ships from Arcane Minis. I do love Arcane Minis, but there's so many. They're not small projects, right? They're not small projects. Like at some point, I really want to print this one as well. Because look at it, it's amazing, but oh my god, it's just so much. It's so much work. It takes so long. And you can print them in resin. I think they have separated them in a way that allows you to print them resin, but hell no. Absolutely not. I mean, oh my god. Look at the size of it. Oh, it's just massive. So good. A shark ship. Yeah, there's a shark ship in here somewhere. There's a crab ship. There's like a mechanical crab ship. There's a big turtle ship. This also looks mad. That looks fantastic. Oh, welcome in, Canon S. Eleanor. Thank you very much for the membership. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to someone going home with a dragon. Although actually, where was it? There is one that I'm like super tempted by. That's it. The Gestor class dreadnought, which is insane. Look at it. Absolutely wild. But given that I reckon this piece and these two pieces, because it's not one, this isn't one section, it's two sections, because you can take that off. These two pieces alone account for about 50, these three pieces, sorry, account for about 55 to 60 hours of printing. So, also the bottom layer on that is totally mangled, but I'm just going to ignore it and pretend that didn't happen. Absolutely crazy. But it's so good. They're so good. The molds are so good. Oh, got a job time to make. Oh, awesome news. That's great. That's great, Candace Elnor. Congratulations. So chunky. So chunky. Oh, welcome in, Samuel. Thank you very much. Oh, you're well on your way. Well on your way. Yeah, the only problem with me looking at Arcane Minis is I just get massively distracted, and I just can't help but want to print everything. Like, absolutely everything. All the ships are so cool. They're really inventive. Yeah, they're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. There was something that I found that I haven't bought yet, right? I haven't bought it yet. I will probably end up with it because it's incredible. but I've managed to be good and not buy it yet because I need to finish printing that ship before I get another big project. But look. Look at this. Look at this. It's 548 millimeters tall. And then you see it on the table and you're like, oh, that seems like it could be pretty big, but what's the scale of this? Banana for scale. Oh, yeah. I will end up with this. I know I will, because it's just something from Shadow of the Colossus. That's pretty much exactly what it is, and I want it. There's absolutely no way I'm printing it in resin, because imagine how expensive that would be. Printing that in resin? No. FDM? Yeah. Resin? Hell no. Absolutely not. Not having that at all. But, yeah, it's a tall boy. It's a tall boy. It's so good, though. It's so good. And the way they've done it, they've done, like, little spaces for miniatures on it. Look, like that, the circles. You can put models on the different platforms. It's so well done. But yeah, not printing that in resin. Absolutely not, no. That'd be mad. That'd be madness. Absolutely madness. That has to be the fun part of it, though, Wombat Man. Just dropping that down and being like, all right, gang, deal with this. Deal with it. To be fair, I did that with that guy. That Cosmic Horror Mega Gargant. I plonked that down midway through a fight in a D&D session and was like, you have an additional issue to deal with here. Good luck. Admittedly, I didn't make it like a full combat encounter. It was like they had to try and get it out of the city without it just trashing everything it came across, which they did very, very well, but it was very fun putting down something that big and that scary and going, and now this. I think, honestly, Plebiscite, yes, they have been raiding my brain. FDM printing is the way to go when you're doing scenery and like super big models like that, I think. Warlord Titan levels of insanity. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I've not tried Shiver. Also, hello CG. No, I've not tried Shiver yet. Do you reckon you could get away with 1 litre of resin for that, Barakai? Because it seems like it's got to be massive, and like with all the supports and stuff. I don't know. Okay, we've done a fair bit of waffling here, right? We've done a fair bit of waffling. We've given people plenty of time to get in. Plenty of time. Oh, that's a point, actually, yeah, as well. God, you'd hope it was hollowed, wouldn't you? I'd be mad if it wasn't. The Saturn II is a really good printer, Tushan. It's really good. Despite the fact that mine was dropped by customs on its way to me, I've been really happy with mine. It's had some issues, but it's really not the printer's fault. It's entirely the fault of the idiot that dumped it on the floor. You get really nice detail out of it. In fact, this guy was printed on the Saturn II not that long ago. Nice, clean, crisp lines. It's awesome. The Saturn III is 12K as well, isn't it? It's not necessarily overkill, Tushan. It's just like what you'd be content with, honestly. I think at a certain point it's hard to tell the difference between 12 and 8, depending on what you're printing. But generally speaking, the higher the resolution, the better the quality is going to be. So if you want quality, then it makes sense to just go as high as you can in terms of the resolution. Okay. let's talk about this box. What the hell is... What even is this, gang? This is so weird. Whose idea was this? Right. So, what... I don't even know how to start this. I don't even know how to start this off because I don't know where this idea came from, right? I have no clue whose idea this was or why. In a world where foam didn't exist and magnets don't exist, this would be a genius solution. But both of those things already exist and are already accepted ways of transporting your miniatures. So what the hell? Like, what the hell is this? What is this? So, as they say, transporting your miniatures is one of the trickiest aspects of the Warhammer hobby. All your lovingly painted miniatures at the mercy of potholes, doorways, and the forces of gravity. I mean, yeah, I've transported my fair share of armies. I've moved a fair amount of stuff around. Hell, when I was on the painting phase, which was a lovely time, loved it. That was a really fun podcast recording that. They're a great gang. I took a big box of miniatures, including my Cosmic Horror Mega Gargants. I took those with me and a bunch of kit bashes, and they got there and back. It's like an hour's drive either way on really bad roads because the UK has terrible roads. And somehow they all survived. They all survived. No breakages, nothing fell off, nothing fell over. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, gang, how did that happen? How did I achieve this result? It's just a box with a strip of magnetic material in the bottom and magnets on the base of the mould, and that's literally it. I couldn't even properly, anchor the box down because I couldn't put the lid on the box because the stuff was too tall. Why did they make... Why did they make this? I'm looking, and I'm not seeing anyone going, this is a brilliant idea. I'm not seeing any of you going, you know what, this is fantastic. No one's saying that. No one's saying that. It's just... I mean, you're right, Matt. What the hell, so many spears are going to get broken off in the box? If you break your model in the box, you might just rebuy them. Well, that's true. The result of GW was complete refusal to either A, make models that fit in fold, or B, produce a magnet case. Fit in foam, yep. Looks like one of those arcade machines. You put coins in and they fall down and bounce off the pins. The prongs look more fragile than the minis. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? This is the thing. These are silicon bristles, or silicone, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And I'm just not seeing an actual good solution here, you know? This is great for those that travel on a train with the Necromunda gang. I mean, potentially, Aegis Lanesh, potentially. But I just don't know what this offers that, a case with magnets could do for... Let's be honest, it's going to be significantly cheaper to not buy this and to do another solution, right? Suspect it's purely a gimmick. Thought it was an ad for a third-party item. I've thought for a long time that the sculpts have long outpaced the cases. I wasn't sure what was going to come next exactly, but I wasn't sure this was it. Well, this is the thing, right? This is what's confusing me. This might well work on simple models, but I'm really, really struggling to see how you get some of the more fragile models in here and out of here without it being an issue, you know? Without having problems in terms of things breaking. Because what they've got in here, Stormcast for the most part, you can probably get away with. Stormcast and Space Marines, you're probably good. Stuff that doesn't have too much in the way of really thin weaponry or really thin kind of spindly sections, I totally get that this actually might do the job. I'm not 100% convinced, but I can see why you would think that it could do it, right? But this lad here, right? This little fella here. Little Sylvanus lad. Admittedly, I have kit bashed it, but it's no more fragile than the normal model because it's all the same parts are filled in. I'm sorry, I would not want to transport this in that box. With all of the little spindly bits up here, with how thin the sword is, and the sword is the same thickness as the ones you get in the actual kit. Like, that would be a nightmare to put in there. I would not be convinced that I could take it out again without it being wrecked, to be perfectly honest. And the same goes for, like, I don't know, say you want to take this. Look at all of this going on here. It just doesn't look like it's going to fit things that have any sort of extreme detail on it. It would really be helpful if they'd shown, like, much more kind of slim, fiddly models, to be honest. Stormcast do have some fiddly bits, yeah, but like the main, I think for me the main structure of them isn't fiddly, you know? Stormcast and Space Marines have got quite a solid, like, core, even with the cloth that Stormcast have got. I don't think foam is actually that bad of a solution. Magnets is obviously better. I can see, yeah, maybe why they wouldn't do magnets, because they would have to just go wild with magnets. But then again, it's an accepted solution that works really well. It kind of, I don't know, to me this sort of feels like reinventing the wheel, but not in a way that is really particularly helpful or I guess necessary. Like with the foam boxes, are you really like losing that much per trip with the foam boxes? I don't know that you are. I mean, that is also something else as well, right? Where if you want to do this properly and you want to do the magnet solution, then they're not going to do that because they can't mark up magnets sufficiently to make it worth their time to do it. Like, their stuff is just the same as any other hobby stuff, but they can put their name on it, which means they can charge more for it, and that's fine. That's how the company makes money. But they also, like, a pack of magnets is a pack of magnets, and even if it says Citadel on it, it's still not going to be worth more than just buying them off Amazon, which is probably why they would just never bother. It's the same reason I think why they've not done airbrushes as well. There was, I forget the name of the guy that was on the Painting Phase podcast. It was Tom something. I really couldn't remember his last name, but someone who used to do like product design and stuff at Games Workshop, and it was like with airbrushes, there's just no point doing it. It's not going to be Tom Hibbert. That was it. That was a really good episode. He gave a really good insight as to the way that he make products and why they don't do stuff. But I don't know with things like this, if it works really well, then I could see it maybe take, like, kind of catching on. But my gut reaction seeing it was just like, oh, but I can think of so many models that just simply don't feel like this is appropriate for them. And whilst they have done a bit of, like, there is a little bit of, like, delicate stuff going on with the Stormcast. Like I said before, there's like a nice solid core to those. Can you imagine putting Nighthaunt in this? Like, it's all very well doing Ossiarch Bone Reapers there, but wow, camera's gone dark. But Ossiarch Bone Reapers they're fine, but they're not particularly, like, those models are not particularly delicate or sort of spindly. Space Marines, it's just, why even show us that? It's fine. Of course they're going to be fine. I've just realised I haven't put my light on. There you go. That's why it went dark. Yeah, like that. that is definitely going to work, the Space Marines, because they're super simple models. But yeah, oh dear. I would love to have seen the testing for this. You know, I would have loved to have seen someone walking around with it, putting stuff in it, taking stuff out of it, because just by the pictures, I just can't. It's not jumping out at me as being something that like looks like it's really gonna work, you know. Also, the case is designed to be opened flat on a table with rubber backing to each half, providing extra grip. There's less chance of you accidentally knocking off the table. I don't know that I've ever knocked one of my containers off a table, but I mean, these are with it being a skirmish case, it's for like Warcry war bands and kill teams and the like, which does make sense. Why they showed that in that context, I don't know, because I don't think that's a fieldable Warcry anything, and you'd have to buy quite a few of these to carry a full RCR Bone Reapers army, but I don't know that there is age restrictions for selling magnets. Is there? I mean, they sell plastic glue and super glue, and both of those are like literal chemicals, aren't they? So I don't know. I don't know whether that's something that is a consideration for them, where it's just not, and spray paint as well. Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. Like, we can see stuff in the box. We can see stuff in the box. We can't see what the outside of the box looks like. And I have to admit, I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at like the side walls and stuff of this thing, and it doesn't look like thick or like reinforced. I mean, I guess there is reinforcement there, but like, it looks quite flimsy. I don't know if that's just me, but it kind of looks a bit flimsy and a little bit cheap. Now, the thing is, it being flimsy and potentially cheap, that would be fine if they're not selling it for very much. If it's flimsy and cheap because it's like going to be cheap to buy, then that's kind of acceptable. If it looks flimsy and cheap, but then it turns out that it's going to be, 50 quid or something, I don't know. I say even 50 quid. It's gonna end up. I mean, how much are the current carry cases, right? How much are the current carry cases? They've got to be pretty expensive, right? So under painting and modelling, I've never bought one of them. I've never bought one of their cases, ever. Okay, so the current Citadel Skirmish figure case is £42.50. And I'll be honest, it's probably just the way it's been designed in terms of appearance, but it looks so much more chunky. So this is the current skirmish case. You got your foam. The case itself might not be... Well, there's like paneling on the inside. It looks like kind of reinforced paneling and stuff on the inside, and then on the outside you've got these, mostly for looks, I'm assuming, but like bracing on the thing. To me, this looks more capable of taking a hit than that does. Like, that does not look capable of taking a hit. That looks capable of taking a hit. Just like optics alone, I'm looking at the current skirmish case and thinking I would trust this thing way more than I would trust this thing. Like, oh, Lord. And also, I know foam can be a little bit unreliable in some cases, but it's also just like the sheer size of this thing. Like, look how much you can get in there. Look how much you can get in that case. You've got a full squad of Space Marines right there. There's another layer underneath that you can fit another couple of squads in. You can fit another squad next to that squad, potentially even a few more. Compare that to this, where they've wedged in, what, 11? 11 Space Marines? You could get 12 in, probably. You could get 12 in. But that's it, you could get 12 in. Compare that to that. And it's not like you can stick a bunch of other stuff in the lid, is it? Is it? No, you can't. Look at the way they're sticking out. You can't stick any more in the lid. Also, would you even trust the lid to hold them when you took the lid off? I don't think you would. I don't think you would. I just don't... I'm just not convinced. I am fully not convinced. It just doesn't look like a... Just like appearance-wise, it doesn't look like a solution that I would be happy to trust with my, you know, with my miniatures. It does also look like it's torturing your minis for information in the oldie times as well. Like that, I mean, I'm sorry, but that just looks so much more reliable. It just looks so much more reliable. I mean, just the overall look, presentation is like, oh my god, look at that, absolutely massive. And then you look at that and it's so flimsy looking. It looks weedy, looks weak, looks weak. I don't want a case that looks weak. I want a case that looks like absurdly chunky. Like you could drop kick it down a stairwell and your models would still be fine inside. I don't know that there's any case that you could do that with. I don't know that there's any case you could drop kick down a stairwell and everything would be fine. But that's what I want, right? That's what I want the appearance of. If I'm going to be buying something from a company that is designed to protect my precious miniatures from the harms and ills of a cruel, uncaring world, I want something where I look at it and I think, if a nuclear bomb went off right now, I would be gone. I would be gone, but I know full well that when the radiation finally disappears 1,000 years down the line, someone will be able to pick up my box of miniatures and they would still be okay inside. If I'm going to spend the money on someone else's product, that's what I want. That's what I want from a case. I mean, if I'm making my own, it'll just be some janky box with a magnetic strip in the bottom and magnets on the bases of my models. And that's fine, because I've made it. But if I'm paying a premium for someone else's, exactly, Tushan, I want my legacy to be intact for all time. Frankly, I don't think this looks like it would keep your legacy intact for more than 5 minutes. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll turn out to be totally wrong, and it'll turn out to be an absolutely cracking idea, and everyone will be really happy with it, and they'll fly off the shelves. It's possible. I've been wrong before, but yeah, I don't know that I want to. Maybe that's something we do. Maybe that's something we do, gang. Do we buy one? Do we buy one and test it? Do we buy one, get Barry and a bunch of old orcs, get them in there, and then chuck the case around and see if they survive? Do we do that? And like a box review? And I talked about like drop kicking down a stairwell. We could totally do that. We could, although that would mean buying one. I mean, it's totally... Alright, maybe not stick Barry in there. Barry's had enough punishment. I still don't know where Barry is. I still can't find Barry. That's how bad he's having it currently. I still don't know where he is. Maybe he's up there. Did I put him up there? No, I don't know. I can't remember where Barry is. But I have got like old knackered models that are just lying around. So we could do it. Maybe that's the goal for tonight. We get the 10 members, we'll buy one of these, and then we'll test it. Like, do a proper stress test on it. Don't just like, oh, I knocked it off the table. Like, that's not realistic. That's not realistic. We've got to make it count, right? We've got to make the test count. We've got to be sure that what we're doing is legitimate testing that replicates issues that one might face in the real world whilst taking your miniatures around. Like maybe that's a good call. I mean, it's not a good call. It's a terrible idea, but it would be pretty funny, and I'm pretty sure the video would do fairly well. Drive over it. Oh, thank you, Tushan. Drive over it. Oh, there's an idea. Can it withstand being run over by a 4x4 estate car? I mean, I'd do it. I genuinely would. I would genuinely do that. I'll be honest. We would have to be getting that through members and super chats, because I would not spend my. I would not like take money out of like the repair the PC fund to drive over a case. Alright? I wouldn't be doing that. There's genuine issues happening here that I would want to repair, right? But if we did a little push and we got enough to cover it, I would absolutely drive over it. I would kick it down the stairs. I would drive over it. I could take it hiking, roll it down a hill, put on like the end of a length of rope and spin it and chuck it to simulate being like, I don't know. What would that even be? What would that even be? What would that even simulate? Just swinging it around and throwing it somewhere. I'm trying to think what real world scenario that would simulate. We need to, you know what? We need to get a list. We need to get a list together, right? We need to get a list of stress tests for this box. Okay? So, stress test for the box. We're going to use the extremely professional method of doing just Notepad. So let me just set it up so that Notepad's there. Come here and let's have Notepad. There we go. Right. We'll go back to this for now because we want to have the goal up there. So you guys remember that there was potentially a giveaway should we reach the target. Right. So we want to test this new case, right? We want to test the new case. How best do we test it? What tests do we want? We want dropped from a height. That's not how you spell height, but that's fine. Is that how you spell height? I don't know. Dropped from table height. You know, actually, that's a good call. We want to make sure that it's like realistic and sensible to start with. So drop from table height. Okay. Shank it to see if the outer case is... Okay, let's... Drop from a balcony. I don't have access to a balcony. I can try and find one. Drop from a balcony. Throw it down the stairs. Yep, throw it down the stairs. Hit by a metal dreadnought in a sock. I do have a metal dreadnought. We'll add that one in, but that would require more funding. Hit by a metal dreadnought in a sock. Okay. Submerge it in water. Why? I suppose... Alright. Actually, that's quite sensible. Because... Picture the scene. You're driving to a kill team tournament. You've got your kill team in the box. Disaster strikes. A tyre blows out on your car. You swerve heavily to the left, and there's a river running parallel to the road. You drive into the river. You're able to get out. You do manage, however, to grab the case before the car sinks. Are the minis okay, and are they still dry? Questions that we need the answers to, gang. Oh, thank you very much, Chris A. Okay, submerge it. Right. Have a dog chew it. We're not doing that one, because dogs should not chew metal. Not metal, plastic. Dogs, there's a lot of stuff dogs shouldn't chew that they do. But I'm not having a dog chew it, because I don't want to hurt the dog. I don't care about the box, but the dog needs to be protected. We must protect dogs. Sat on by a chunky fella. I mean, I am a chunky fella, so that's fine. Sit on it. Hit with a baseball bat? I'll have to find a baseball bat, but that might be possible. Hit with a baseball bat. Okay. What else have we got? Football kick. What, just fully kick it? Okay, football kick. Can it be used for self-defense as a shield? To be fair, I mean, that can be just paired with hit with a baseball bat. That can be paired with that. Just saying. Just saying. Oh yeah, with the gifted membership from Chris A there, we're 6 off giving the Ghost Dragon to someone. We're 6 off. Someone going home with a Ghost Dragon. Okay. Spill a pot of Nuln oil on it. I think most things would survive that. Nuln oil isn't actually oil. Stick Barry in it. Throw it into the ocean. If it returns back to you painted it as the best box. Well. I mean, it's certainly a test of something. Alright, I'm not hitting it with a guitar. That's not happening. Leave it on the stove. If you want to offer your stove for that, David, then we'll do that. But I'm not leaving it on my stove because my stove is new. Relatively new. Throw it against a rock. Just find a rock and throw it. Okay, throw it against a rock. Did we decide on running it over? I think we did, didn't we? We did decide on running it over. Drive over it. I'm pretty sure we said that. Flush it in the toilet with the dice. What a callback. What a callback, Eleanor. That is quite the callback there. Can it survive a drive-by? That's a difficult one to test, Raumins, because I don't live in the US, so... Put it inside the washing machine. There's a lot of, like, incidental damage being done to household appliances that I need that's being suggested here. I appreciate, you know, trying to cover all the bases, but... Submit it to off-key bass notes. I mean, I can do that. I can like badly play the bass at it for a bit. Can it survive the full moon? Leave it outside overnight during a full moon. Okay. 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 Oh, You're one of the like 10 people who bought a Lick My Dice t-shirt. Loving your work. Absolutely loving your work. Can it survive children playing with it? Oh yeah, yep. kid test. That sounds weird. That sounds weird as just 2 words, but stab it. I don't see why not. Stab it. Put it in a campfire. Just what? Just fully burn it? Okay. Burn it. Falling out of a moving vehicle. That's interesting. Okay. Drop out of moving vehicle. I'm going to have to find somewhere really quiet and not monitored for some of this, aren't I? I'm going to have to find somewhere that no one else is around at the time before I run it over or chuck it out the car window. Put it on, just put it on the roof. On the roof of the car. I thought you just meant put it on the roof of my house. Just chuck it up there and just leave it. Okay, we've got a 15-point testing. We've got a 15-point test here. Right? We've got a 15-point test. So, what we have. Actually, I should make that bigger. Let's. All right. So, what we have for testing this box. Drop it from table height. Drop it from a balcony. It's going to be tricky, that one. I don't have a balcony, but I can simulate it. I mean, dropping it from a balcony, if I just chuck it up in the air until it reaches roughly balcony height, and then it'll fall down, and that'll be fine. That'll simulate it pretty well. Throw it down the stairs. Hit it with a metal dreadnought in a sock. We might have to simulate that, because I only have 1 metal dreadnought, and I don't want to destroy the metal dreadnought. Because it's the Chaos one with the big spindly arm. But we can work something out. Submerge it. These aren't in order, by the way. We'll have to work out a better order closer to the time. Because I'm not soaking it and then sitting on it. Because then I'll just get a wet backside and that won't be a fun day. Hit it with a baseball bat. That's fine. Football kick. Yep, totally doable. Throw it against a rock. Weirdly specific, but I'm here for it. Drive over it. That's going to be pretty easy, I think. Leave it outside overnight during a full moon is extremely specific, but we need to know if it will survive that. Kid test is just giving it to a kid and seeing what happens. Stab it, self-explanatory. Burn it, self-explanatory. Drop it out of a moving vehicle. I think we've got a good battery of tests here. We've got a good battery of tests. Now, what I want to know, what I am curious about, is if we bring this over here, and we bring that over there, and then I put that on, do we really think, gang, that this, right, this box is going to survive that test? Do we think that's likely? Attacked by chickens. I'm absolutely going to add that in. Thank you, Katie. That's a great idea. Attacked by chickens. I mean, how far down do we think it's going to get before it capitulates? Genuinely. How long do we think it's going to take for it to just fall apart? Are we even going to get past, like, stage 3? After 2? You think it's going to collapse at test 3? I believe in it. It seems like most of you don't believe in it, to be honest. And that's the thing, we need to put models inside. Don't think it will survive the first one. Imagine that. Imagine we've got this big long list of stuff to do to it, and then, then I knock it off the table and it immediately shatters into pieces. That would be hilarious. I would love that. That would be great. Is it spongy inside at all? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. We'll have to find out when it gets here. Stick your hand in it and see what it feels like. Stick your hand in it and see what it feels like. Gross. A glass carry case? I mean, we'll see. It's also the fact that how does it transfer the shock? The outside of the case might be fine, but the moulds inside get battered. That is interesting. Oh, taste test. Alright. Alright, we'll do a taste test. We're on to 20. We're on to 20 now. 20 tests. No, 18. I can't count. I meant to say nearly 20, but then I just said 20, and that's not accurate. I'm not going to lie, I really want to hear Doreen say attacked by chickens. If someone could make that happen, I'd be very grateful. I just want to hear her say it. I think everyone at some point just wants to hear a text-to-speech person say attacked by chickens. Post-test? I mean, yeah. Did it survive being posted to me? There we go. Oh, I'm going to have to blow my nose. Oh, no. Saved your lives. Saved your lives there. That was a horrendous, horrific noise. Sneeze test. Now, if you do two, do they connect? Are you sticking with single boxes and then drop? If I have two, oh, look, we haven't even got the funding for one yet. We haven't got the funding for one. Right? Here's the thing. Right? We're getting all grand about this. We're still only at 4 new members for the evening, and we have had a generous donation, but it's not quite going to cover the cost of one of these boxes at this stage. I'm just throwing it out there. Does it paint up well? What? We just vandalize it? Alright. Does it paint up well? I've added that to the list. Now we're at 20. Now we're at 20 of these. I think that's pretty high up there. That is a thorough test we've got lined up here. Hello, Kurozu Fenris Wolf. Well, we've already got a sit-in on it. Waffles enjoy us, so we'll see how that goes. The box looks flimsy. Like, I think it'll bend in half as soon as you hit it with a bat, but the moulds inside won't survive anything even less than that. I mean, it would be nice if that wasn't true, but I have suspicions. I'm not going to lie. I have suspicions. Definite extreme suspicions that it's not going to go well for it. Let's put it that way. I mean, maybe here's the thing, right? Maybe they like tighten up. Maybe the models like all tighten up when the lid's closed, and they don't like shift around. Maybe. But then again, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's just they flop about like a bunch of dead fish in there. Turns out it's built like a tank and ends up damaging my car. Oh, God. I mean, it'd be funny, but I hope not. depends on the sponginess. How would it be scored? Well, this is the thing, right? How do we score it? I mean, if it falls up, maybe it gets like a point for every test it survives. So it has like a total of 20 points available, and if it survives all the tests, it gets 20 points. But, you know, lower than that is obviously bad. Lower than that means it's a bad product. Because you definitely need to know if it can survive being run over by a car. Because that's definitely something that happens to a lot of people's miniatures. That's definitely a problem. Orion, look here, Orion. We've got to make sure that these products are good, right? If they're going to be selling this, it needs to be fit for purpose. And if they're going to sell something that can't handle, like, basic day-to-day issues, then people need to know, right? People need to know. Can the case survive being dropped from table height? Can it survive being dropped from a balcony? Will it survive being thrown down the stairs? Or being hit by a metal dreadnought in a sock? If you accidentally drop it in a river or the sea, is it going to survive and are the models going to be okay? If you use it as a seat, right? We've got to find these things out. It's important. It's important data. It's important testing. It's genuinely important that we know whether it will survive being left outside overnight during a full moon. That's an important piece of. That's an important piece of information that I think everyone needs. And some of these are relatively sensible, to be fair. Some of them. Most of them are. Most of them are stupid. But what we can do is we can separate the tests. So being dropped, that's a legitimate test. Being thrown down the stairs, probably not. Right? Probably not. Not many people are going to chuck it down the stairs. We might put two different classifications of real-world, everyday use testing and extreme circumstances testing. Like, your kid getting hold of it, that's a thing that could totally happen. Whether it survives being posted to you, again, everyone's going to have to find that out pretty much. Got standing on it. Look, I'll be honest, if it gets run over and it's fine, me standing on it won't do anything. How does it fare as a lunchbox when you're not transporting models? It's great for carrying spaghetti. It's great. I mean, let's be honest here. Is this not the best spaghetti transporting box you've ever seen in your life? It's keeping that spaghetti separated. It's stopping it from clumping and drying out in like one big lump. If it is waterproof, it'll keep the sauce in there really nice. I'm just saying, if it doesn't make it as a way to transport miniatures, this could be the way you take your spaghetti to work for lunch. Just saying. Realistically, though, yeah, really, there's only like 2 tests on there that are legitimate, but I'll be honest, I just don't know that it's going to work very well just being dropped off a table. I really don't. I really don't. I would hope that it does. I'm sure they've tested it. They must have done. They must have done that. But I'm still not massively convinced. The moment someone puts spaghetti in this, we'll know God is dead. Look, if God has to die to perform the ultimate spaghetti test, then that's just how things will have to be. Drop down the stairs is a legit test. It's really easy to just get in a scenario like that. Well, to be fair, we've all dropped things down the stairs once in a while. Miniatures, phones, enemies. Last test needs to be, can you eat spaghetti from it? I mean, I'm willing to try it if it survives all the others. I think that, you know what? I think the pins floppy. I think they are sort of floppy. I mean, they're made of silicon, aren't they? So they should be relatively movable, bendable. Really didn't know the best way to phrase that, to be totally honest. Sort of struggled there. I mean, there are so many pegs. Painting phase are going to be real happy. So many pegs. An amazing number of pegs, in fact. Reminds me of the dog food bowls. It really does, actually. Yeah, we had one of those for our dog, and you're right, it is very reminiscent of that. Very reminiscent of that. Floppy pins in a flimsy case is I'm pretty sure that's a band name. Get it wet, put the spaghetti in it, set it on fire, see if the spaghetti cooks. I mean, to be honest, we're coming up with some good ideas for this. We're coming up with some good ideas for this. We're on to a winner here. You watch. Having done all of that, it's going to come out and I'll have just forgotten about it completely. And it'll be like, oh yeah. We had all the conversation. That was the subject of an entire stream. Did you do it? Well, I mean, we'll find out, won't we? Hello, Raldoran. It's easy to test on whether it's a horse. Although technically you could say it's got loads of legs. Maybe. You could kind of see if it's got loads of legs. Depends on what you class as legs. What's the problem, Ryan? It's fine. Apparently humanity exists to make weird boxes full of silicon pegs that don't look like they could do the thing they're meant to do. Also, we've had loads more people join and I've not said hello to you at all. I apologise. I've been getting carried away coming up with the worst stress tests known to man for a miniature transport case. And we're all here for it. Oh, the shirt, Nori. Give me a second. I can literally give you a link to where you can get it from. It's an affiliate link, I'll tell you now. But it is where it's from. So, that is where the shirt is from. And if you use that link, if you use the link, you get 10% off whatever you order using it. So yeah, that is a thing. What you can do if you want to do. It's up to you, innit? I think I put some pewter minis in there, it will become a tumbler. Maybe. A mould case to cast minis. That's an interesting idea. That's actually genuinely an interesting idea. I don't know how well it would work, but... if I mean, that's the thing. I wonder if they've tested it with metal minis, because they don't make any metal minis anymore. Like, it's all resin, it's all plastic. So, would they have even bothered to stress test that? Like, find out whether metal minis could be a problem, like shake loose? That could genuinely be an issue. Maybe a niche issue, but still an issue. Oh yeah, Skaven. Have you shaven models or metal? That's an excellent typo. Loving it. Loving that. The shaven. The shaven Skaven. Yeah. If you had to sit down and paint 5,000 points of one army, what would you choose? I mean, technically I've already done that. I painted like 5,000 points of dreadnoughts. Nearly, just about. So, probably dreadnoughts still.
Case fund started. Gibbs.
Excellent work. Excellent work, Gibbs. Thank you very much. The case fund has begun. You're going to end up making it so I've got no excuse but to follow through on these terrible ideas. I will say, actually, you know what? 5,000 points of my Cosmic Horror Mega Gargants. That would be super easy. Super easy. Because I've already painted 2,000. I've already got another 1,000 ready to go. I've got ideas for another 1,000. Yeah, I could easily paint. I could easily do 5,000 points of that. I could easily do 5,000 points of that. I mean, I keep meaning to get started on this lad. I keep meaning to get started on this. I keep wanting to, but I just have so much to paint at the moment, and I'm just all over the place. I'm just like going from one model to another constantly. And there's things I need to paint before I actually do this. But look at him. He's so cool. It's so absolutely stupid model, that, but it's a lot of fun to make. And that's the important bit, right? That's the important bit. Oh yeah, I mean, I could easily paint that many tanks as well. I do like painting tanks. Painting tanks is fun. Painting tanks is a lot of fun, to be fair. I have something on the way that will allow me to get started on producing more Baneblades. Not actual full Baneblades, right? I've got the one Baneblade, but I also have the SEL for something else, which I'm going to be printing probably 3 of. Is the aim anyway. Raumins, what I did with the... Here's the thing. None of those Cosmic Horror Mega Gargants cost as much as just buying a Mega Gargant. None of them did, because they're all from, like... The base models are, like, way cheaper. They've come from, like, different parts have come from, like, different scenery kits from other things. It's... None of them have cost as much as just buying a Mega Gargant, because the cost of one thing has been spread out over like multiple of different models and stuff, if that makes sense. Like getting hold of individual bits or doing bit swaps or buying like a bag of mixed parts off like eBay and stuff, and getting a particular base model, but the base model is like way cheaper than just an actual Mega Gargant. Like there's parts on 3 of those that came from the same 2 kits. So it spreads the cost out a lot. Funnily enough, Tushan, what I was about to put on the screen is exactly that. It's exactly that. It is the Golden Dragon Games, not Baneblade. I'm intending to print 3 of these because they are immense. Absolutely love this model. It's so good. It's so good. And the fact that there's like different variants of it, like it's magical. It's a magical thing. And there's some like really nice pictures of them painted. Oh, it's so good. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's such a cool model. So yeah, 3 of them. 3 of them is what I'm planning to do. Because I want a 3 Baneblade army. Because why would you not? If you had the option to, why would you not? Obviously, can't go anywhere near a Games Workshop with them, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. They'll still be really fun to make. Also, night versions as well. Like there's a couple of different nights that Golden Dragon Games have done, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love them. So there's this lad. Like, look how cool that is. Like an Imperial Knight, but kind of like a historical Iron Harvest type version. It's just awesome. It's just so cool. So at some point I want to print some of these as well. I'd love to do another Knight army that is like based off these and this. This is also pretty rad. Oh, I love them. Golden Dragon Games are fantastic. Some really, really cool designs. Got some really cool designs. Kind of faux historical versions of 40k tanks. It's great. It's great. That's the word, diesel punk, isn't it? I'll tell you, one creator, if you like fantasy stuff, that I absolutely love is Witch Song Miniatures. Really, really like Witch Song Miniatures. They do great models. Oh, what? I hadn't seen the Treasure Room Mimic. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's a door. It's just a door. 2 versions. A closed door and then a giant mouth. Hell yes. That's amazing. That is absolutely quality. Hell yeah. I love that. Oh, Witch Song. You scamps. You absolute scamps. Oh, they've updated since the last time I looked at them. I did support them on Tribes for a bit, and then I had to stop. Maybe I need to go back to... Maybe I need to go back to them. Because, I mean, they just do so... Like, just such good stuff. So good. In fact, I've got one of their things painted. I started painting it, but I don't know what to do now. Printed. Come here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to do for this. I did the first coat. I base coated her, and then I did a pass with just white for wings and stuff, just to get some base kind of shading down. And then I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with her now. Because she looks really cool. As is, but there's no colour, it's just black and white. And I feel like I need to do more, but I don't know what else to do. Because I kind of want to take the edges of the feathers and go over them with a bit of black or something. I kind of want to do that. I'm leaving where there's no face. That's just going to be black all the way through. but it's so good. It's so good. I love this model. I absolutely love it, but yeah, and just really torn on how best to approach painting her, because just blasting with white for a bit of highlight work, it's just made me go, oh, I really like that, and now I'm trapped. Now I'm trapped and don't know what to do next. Super difficult. Fleshcraft Studios Beyond the Veil. Ooh, I've not seen Fleshcraft Studios. Oh, I mean, the first result was the Dormant God. So that's automatically got my attention. That's the kind of thing I just immediately like the sound of. Silver or gold? Black and gold? Oh, maybe. For the wings, I reckon just like doing some sort of like some nice black shading and stuff on the very edges of the feathers would look really nice. I have a Saturn 3 on the way, which I'm really looking forward to getting set up. Elgu very kindly is sending one over to review, so I'm really, really looking forward to getting that set up. Especially since the Saturn 2 is on its way out. Again, not their fault. Not their fault. Elgu have been so helpful in trying to get the Saturn 2 sorted. But like I think, as I said earlier, like it getting dropped at customs didn't do it any favours. It's done its best, the poor lad. It's done its best. It's worked really hard. It's not had a particularly long life, but like the build plate had dents in the back of it. It took a while to get the LCD working because things have been shaken around. The big like screw at the back, where it kind of raises the print bed up and down, there's nicks in that. It arrived not happy, and I've just kind of tried to ignore it and carry on. But it's definitely not having fun now, which is a real shame because it's such a good printer. But let's be honest, a lot of technology doesn't like it when it's dropped on the floor. So well, something I'm intending to print when I get the Saturn 3 is this model, which you can't really see because it's like, but it's small. There's a ton of detail on the dress. There's a ton of detail in the fire. The dress is patterned. This armor that's around it is patterned. Like, it looks good, but I think a 12K printer is going to make a big difference to how clear that came out, or that will come out. We got massively off topic again. That's happening a lot tonight, isn't it? Gibbs started a drive for the box fund, and then we immediately got distracted and started talking about other things. Don't let Gibbs attempt to get a test box go in vain, right? We've got a 20-step process for testing. We can't just abandon that now. We can't just abandon it now. I've actually just remembered as well that I was going to start the next section of the ship printing tonight, and I didn't. So that's daft of me, because it could be a good 12 hours in now, except I just totally forgot. I totally forgot about it, which is a real pity, because it's literally just the bit that goes on top of this bit, and then I've got a playable surface for D&D. And all we need to do is just pretend that mess on the bottom doesn't exist. We'll just ignore that ruined section where for some reason the bottom of the print just peeled off. To be fair, I'm printing in my garage and the temperature is fluctuating quite a bit. So it's my own fault. But also, I want a ship, damn it. I want a ship, and I want it now. That's not how FDM printing works, though. You don't get things now, you get things in 48 hours. See, he's really piling on here. Box fund, box fund. It's really easy to do. When you're doing 3D printing, and especially if you're doing a lot over a few days, you will like do part of the process and then go, sorted, and then you wander off, and then you'll come back hours later and be like, why isn't it? Oh. I'm why, isn't it? That's why. Because of me. Because of what I did or completely failed to do. That is entirely my fault. Okay, awesome. Super, super easy to do. Unfortunately. I wonder if I could print. Now I'm wondering whether I could print the old Baneblade in FDM, or at least parts of it in FDM. Might be able to. It's possible. Don't necessarily know whether I could or not. But if I could, that would be... that would be handy. And if I could print the side parts in FDM, I might give it a try. I mean, the worst that can happen is that it doesn't work, in which case I'll just print them in resin like it's supposed to be done. Oh, could you print a better carry case? Honestly, I wonder if you could. I wonder if you could print a carry case, like a miniatures carry case in FDM. You probably could, right? You probably could. I feel like, I feel like I've seen something like that not that long ago. What am I thinking of? Did I get an email about something and I have just said something I shouldn't have done? I don't think so. I could have sworn I saw something like that. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I'm imagining it. I could have sworn I saw like a was it a Kickstarter or something? I'm trying to have a look and I can't see what I'm thinking of, so it might be that I've just made something up. To be honest, it's entirely possible that I've just made something up. Yeah, no, I think I'm losing my mind. I think I'm losing my mind. I think that's what's happened. Hello, J Bond. Oh, I hope the surgery went okay. Yeah, try and get some time to relax. I bought one online from an outfit called Digital Taxidermy. It's basically a stacking box with different types of interiors. That's a cool idea. Omni 2, is that it? That is it. Yep. Okay, that is exactly what I was thinking of. Thank you, Raldoran. Yeah, this is exactly what I knew. I'd seen something. I knew I wasn't just losing my mind. Well, 16 hours to go. What's your different? Oh, Oh, 69 quid. For all the STLs and all the core STLs and stretch goals. Yeah. Commercial license. So, okay, an early bird one as well. Good grief. Right, okay. So, what have we got? Hello, David Rollo. Yeah, that's pretty nifty. That is pretty cool. For storage, you'd want like, well, to probably magnetize it in some capacity. So small, medium, large, extra large. This is a good idea, to be fair. But yeah, also good chunk of filament this would need. Definitely need a good chunk of filament. But to be fair, like a modular thing that you can just print at home, and you'd be able to just print as many as you want. Like it's kind of, it's a cool idea. No, I've not seen the first Omni. Actually, I've not seen it. Yeah, there we go. Magnetic sheet compatible. Makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, and different themes. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. That's a cool idea. That is pretty fun. Oh, and one for painting as well. You know what? Yeah. I this is really smart. This is a really cool idea. I'd not heard of it. Well, I said I'd not heard of this before. I'd seen this. I hadn't seen the original Omni. I wonder what settings they suggest you use. I'm assuming that they will give information on that. Files are still being optimized, so material usage statistic an estimated value. Okay, so the micro will be roughly 1.7 to 3 rolls. The briefcase roughly 3 to 5 rolls. Chest will be 9 to 13. Oh god, that's a lot of filament. Oh lord, that's a good amount. That's a good amount of filament there. Wow. Although, then again, for how big it is, and for the kind of customizability aspect of it, that's, yeah, I can see it. Oh my god, 474 hours print time for the chest. Oh, it hurts. It hurts the soul. It hurts the soul. My god. Oh yeah, that's the thing with FDM though. Like that's the trade-off. It's a lot cheaper than resin printing, but it also takes a long time. Like, I think all the bits of the ship that I've printed so far, so it's kind of hard to, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts of this ship that I've printed so far. The shortest print time I've had has been, I want to say 18 hours, with the longest being 38. 2 of the things have been about 38 hours. I think all in so far, this has been like a 60 to 60 to 70 hour print time. And it's nowhere near done. Like, this is the top deck. I still have another bit of the top deck to do. And there's 3 layers below that. I use cheap FDM as well. I use cheap FDM. I use something that's got my name and address on it. So I am going to quickly remove my name and address before I hold it up. That seems like it would be a smart thing to do. I don't want to show you my name and address necessarily. Now I'm just kind of hoping that this is the only part where it says it. Let's get rid of that. That's close. Just hold it up on stream. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Send me pizza. Actually, don't send me pizza. Just send me money. That's mostly a joke. Mostly. Not completely, just mostly. So the filament that I use is that, which is Tin Mori. And I'll be honest, I originally bought this because it was on sale on Amazon, and it was like 13 quid or something. And I bought it thinking, well, I give it a go, and if it works, it works. That's good. If it's naff, I'll just get a different one because it's cheap. And I tried it, and it just worked perfectly. I just never had any issues with it. I've tried other filaments since that are technically more expensive, and I'm assuming are supposed to be better. And they're just not as consistent. They're just not as good. Like, I don't get as nice a finish out of them. They're more finicky in terms of temperature, and like one of them like holds moisture really badly for whatever reason. Whereas this, like, it's cheap. It's cheap, and it just by far has given me the best results of any of them that I've tried. So I've developed something of a I don't know, I'm like weirdly attached to it. Weirdly attached to it, because it works. It works better than any of the others I've tried, even the more expensive ones. It works better than those for me, so. And it helps that it's most of the time, it's like 14 quid. In fact, I think that roll that I got today, that like arrived today, was 14 quid. You can't argue with that. For the results that I keep getting out of it, for that much, it's like, yeah, £14, 44 pence. And it's on sale. And it's £2.50 cheaper than it normally is. Especially when it's like, yeah, like Amazon Basics filament still starts at like £20 a roll. It's just, it's too consistent for me to stop using it. It's just too good. The black just does anything I want anytime I ask it to do stuff, and I don't have to change settings or faff around. Just gets on with it. Even with hilariously low infill, which is what I currently am running. Because I'm all about the speed. I'm all about the speed, yeah. I believe the infill on this is like 5%. And that's mostly because I forgot to change it back up from something else I was printing. I don't know how sturdy this is necessarily going to be, but I'm not going to be throwing it around anywhere. Like the support columns that go in there, like the pattern that is inside these walls. It's like you could put like your little finger in them, and it would fit. But you know what? I'm twisting it and I'm pulling it and I'm trying to crush it and squish it, and it's fine. It's all good. As long as it works, it's whatever, innit? 5% all the time unless it's a usable item, then 15%. I might just leave it at 5. I usually do 7, but I'm always willing to change things on recommendation from more experienced people, to be honest, because I'm still pretty new to FDM printing, especially. I've only really been doing it kind of consistently and at like significant volume this like last year. Not even really that, so saves a lot of time and effort if you listen to people who know what they're talking about. Oh. Ow. Oh my god. It's suddenly gone massively windy and there's a tree outside my window that just pressed against it and it freaked me out. Oh no, it's happening again. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. I've been doing pretty well with recording and streaming and stuff, and I'm still not 100% over COVID, and it's still like I'm still getting sneezes. I'm not coughing as much anymore, which is nice. Although I've just said I'm not coughing, and it made me nearly cough. But oh, I think probably we're going to call it there. We're going to stream again on Friday. Probably going to do a morning stream on the Friday. Me and Mikey had planned to do something together on Friday, but just the whole like PC situation at the moment is so dire that I'm just having to do the bare minimum until I get it fixed and sorted. Those new boxes destined to be lost in the bins of GW stores. Had one in hand, nasty. Oh, interesting. I nearly said you've already felt one. That's not. Let's pretend I didn't say it like that. If anyone has any last minute memberships, if you want to join the gang, or if you want to throw some gifted memberships out there, you have a few minutes left. If we get to 10, this lad will be given away. It probably won't happen now, but I'm just throwing it out there. Because otherwise I'll just keep him. Just keep him forever. I'll just have 2. I'll have twin ghost dragons. Very greedy, hoarding all the dragons. Can't help it. I like them. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I like dragons. I have a lot of dragons. I have a whole shelf of dragons, like down there. Loads of them. Oh, thank you, Chris, for another gifted membership. Oh. Well, I mean, I reckon, overall gang, I reckon we were on topic for like easily 20 minutes of that. Easily. We talked about the box for like 20 minutes, then we talked about testing it for about 15, and the rest of this nearly 2-hour stream, I don't know what we even really went over. Lots of 3D printing chat. Lots of 3D printing chat. And not... Oh, no! But it's still part of the hobby, so it counts. No, I haven't painted Barry. I don't know where Barry... I still don't know where Barry is. I still don't know where Barry is. I don't know. I actually don't know where he is. I keep looking for him, but I think he's got to be somewhere. I've probably just dropped him. Probably just dropped him somewhere. I could have sworn for a while there he was up on that shelf, like looking over us. But I've not seen him in a bit. He used to be up there. Then I moved him. I had him on the desk for quite a while. I had him on the desk, but then I don't know. I just don't know what I've done with him. He's like gained sentience and wandered off. He's behind the painting table / paint rack. I mean, I thought I checked behind. You know what? I'm gonna check and see if Barry's back there. If Barry is back there, Explore Norfolk, I'm gonna be a little bit concerned. I'm gonna be worried because that you should. If he's back there and you somehow knew that. No, he's not back here. He's not back here, so I'm not as concerned now. He's definitely not up there. Yeah, I would have been worried. I would have been worried if you were correct on that one. Maybe he's behind the... Oh. No. Did I put him on that shelf instead? I'm leaning and it's bad. No, he's not back there either. There's some models back there that I don't remember buying. But he isn't back there. Okay. Well, I mean, you know. Crisis is still ongoing, but at least I know that Explore Norfolk hasn't been in my house. No, that's an old picture of Barry. That's an old picture of Barry. I have that picture is just in the folder where I keep all my stuff for the channel. Oh man, like he's got to be around. I didn't chuck him. I definitely didn't chuck him away. I know that much. Barry fund. Look, we haven't even got the funds for the box yet. If you want to start a Barry fund, though, I'm down to start a Barry fund. What would it even be? Would it just be to find Barry? To replace Barry? To buy a new Barry? Like, buy a box of orcs to create an imposter Barry? I mean, I do care. I care enough to try and find the guy, but I can't. I don't know where the hell he is. He's just nowhere. And it's bothering me because, you know, I like Barry. Barry's been around for years. Unless he got chucked in a box full of other old miniatures that I haven't got round to yet. That's possible. Now I'm thinking I stop streaming and go and find Barry. Or at least try and find him. Again, I keep picking this up like that. And I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. Look to my right on the table next to me. Well, I'm looking and there's still no Barry. Still no Barry. Bit like my missing dwarf on Shield figure, missing for 20 odd years in the Cave of Doom. Somehow made his way into some Battlefleet Gothic boxes. I mean, he's got to be... It'll be somewhere. It'll be somewhere in the room. I'm just at a bit of a loss as to where. Oh yeah, actually, there's a question. Did you watch the painting phase episode that I was on? And if so, did you stay right to the end to see Peachy lift up the angel by the orb? Did you see that? I'm loving that we got Peachy to do that. It was such a good moment. He really didn't want to do it. He really was not. But you know what? It was fine. It was fine. You know, there was nothing to worry about. There was nothing to panic about. It was all good. I'm literally finding it. There, there we go. The fear in his eyes. The fear. Look, you want to see the fear? Okay, hang on. Let me go back a little bit. Let's unmute it. The fear. You want to finish? You could pick that one up by that.
Oh, do I have to?
Go on.
Someone's asked me to pick up things before, and then they've broken in their hands.
Go on.
Yeah.
I trust you. There you go.
Crush the Tim Tams. Crush the Tim Tams.
It was fine. Oh, I felt a little bit bad, to be honest. A little bit. Because it's a lot of pressure. Picking up someone else's miniature is a lot of pressure. And I'm the first to admit that it does not look like you should be able to pick that up by that. It doesn't look like you should be able to do it. Because it looks super flimsy. But, you know, stronger than it looks. It's just as well. The thing is as well, if it had snapped or like something had broken, it would be 100% on me. Like, you can't go to someone, pick that up by that, pick it up, go on, pick it up. And then when they pick it up, if it breaks, go, oh, you broke it. It's entirely on you, you know? That is your fault. You did that. You can't pile the pressure on and then complain if something goes wrong. That's your fault. But it worked out fine, so it was okay. Apologies, random cough at the end there. Oh, David, I'm sorry. How many members until I paint Barry on stream? Well, I've got to find Barry first. Is part of the issue. But once I've found him, I'll set an absurd goal. I'll just set a goal of like I don't know, 50 members in one stream, and I'll paint Barry and enter him into Golden Demon or something. Maybe that's the one to do. 100 members, and Barry gets entered into Golden Demon. Just a single old as hell orc. Imagine winning. I mean, it would never happen, but it'd be very funny if it did. Turns out that orc is like the most perfectly painted thing ever seen. No, not the way I paint, sadly. Be nice if it was true, but it's not. Oh, anyway, I'm starting to get really, like, congested again. So I'm going to go away and have a cup of tea and hopefully start being able to breathe again. Thank you very much for joining me for this absolutely borderline irrelevant stream. What we actually talked about accounted for very little of what we did. It was absolute nonsense, pretty much from start to finish. It was just borderline chaos. But you know what? Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of borderline chaos, isn't it? Sometimes it's nice. Oh, so yeah, we'll stream again on Friday, most likely Friday morning, and there'll be loads of videos in between, loads of them. There's like a members exclusive video that's going to be coming up tomorrow. There's going to be something for the like ritualist tier as well, and there's going to be another early access video as well as just a public release video as well in the next couple of days. So keep your eyes peeled, and if you join as a member or on Patreon at the $4.99 tier, then you're going to start getting like a members exclusive videos. So that's something I'm working towards this week, and it's going to build up as we go. So thank you everyone for watching. I will see you for whatever happens tomorrow, and wish me luck searching for Barry. We have to find him. We have to find Barry.